Name's Michael McCrone. I belong to the Valley Brigade, or Communications Brigade of the Rural Fire Service, aged 74. I've been in the RFS all with communications, probably 12 years, straight into communications. I figured getting a bit on the older side and that sort of thing, running up and down hills and dragging hoses and McLeod tools and stuff like that, I was getting a little bit past that. Well, Max, who was my mate, Max and I worked together because we were also on the RSL sub-branch. And at that stage, I was the president and Max was my secretary treasurer. And he said, you know, why don't you come up, my wife had died in actual fact, and he said, why don't you come along and, you know, have a look at it. So I did. I figured I could use a radio, so yeah, now here I am, still here. I'm a fitter by trade. I come from a place originally called Junee down near Wagga, and I'd done an apprenticeship as a fitter on the New South Wales Railways when I left school. While I was in that, I'd joined what in those days was called the CMF, the Citizens Military Forces, and from there I had the interest, so I decided I'd join the regular army, and that was that. I had 21 years in the Australian Army, and that I'm a Vietnam veteran, and that served overseas with SAS. You test yourself, and that considering when I first joined the Army, I joined to be a truck driver, because that's what I was doing in the CMF. And they, at that stage, they were building the Army up to 9 battalions, and they said, oh no, you're going to infantry. And then 6 months later, I was over doing the selection course for SAS. So, yeah, a bit different being a truck driver. Well, I stayed with the regiment for another couple of years after that. And then I got posted to Kapuka training recruits. From there, I got posted to Brisbane. From Brisbane, would you believe, to Canungra. And I really enjoyed Canungra. From there I got promoted to Warrant Officer, and they sent me to Kalgoorlie. So the jungle's out to Kalgoorlie. I'm with Lions. I've been a president 4 times of Lions here in Singleton. I'm presently in my since 2011 I've been zone chairman. I'm also with RFS, the Lodge, RSL sub-branch I mentioned. I've got 2 grandsons and a stepson. They're with what do you call them? On call, New South Wales Fire and Rescue. Yeah, I think most people in my brigade know I suffer from PTSD for a starter, and I can be a little short on the temper sometimes. Somebody wrote about me once, I don't suffer fools lightly, and I think it was the most honest thing that was ever written about me, to be quite honest. I can get very short on the fuse sometimes. I get a bit depressed sometimes, because that's part of the PTSD, is the depression. Like I take tablets, okay, for the depression, or take a tablet. And that, and I call them my attitude adjuster, or seeing other people's point of view tablet. Some days I just don't want to go out of the house, to be quite honest, but I'm lucky I've got good support from my wife and friends. Probably I would say our group captain, okay. I've known him for years, as a matter of fact. When he'd done the initial interview with me for the Rural Fire Service, I knew he didn't remember me. And we were talking away, and all of a sudden he said, I know you. I said, I was kind of waiting for you to find out where you're from. And I think so. Graham, yeah, he's probably been a very big influence on me. Our brigade captain, she's been a good steady and influence with me. My wife's very, very supportive of me, although she gets cranky sometimes. Tell them to go for it. There's that many things you can do now, besides running around on a big red truck, dragging hoses around, communications, catering, support, mapping, you know, all the logistical sides of things that go in it. There's a whole big field of people out there. 3 words. Dedication's definitely got to be right up there. Dedication, flexibility is another one. You've got to be flexible enough, especially these guys that run around, and I think integrity as well, being honest with yourself and with others.